All right, I'm okay with this accelerator thing. You know, it's going to need tweaking. I think that pedal is too high. Let's go look at an original car here. Look at the Jag and see what it's like in there. And well, I can't get to it easy. Let's go at it this way. Door wasn't closed all the way. Okay, that'll happen. Let's see what it's like in here. Yeah, I would say that's back a little bit. Okay, so on the Jaguar, the pedal's down off the, sounds good, didn't it? I don't know, let's just look at the bottom. Let's see what the standard practice is. Yeah, that's about the same as the Jag. It's back down in there some. So what I'm going to do is, probably not going to show it because this is just tweaking. Yeah, it's back a little bit. Those are all over the place, aren't they? So that's all right. Okay, so I think the pedal is a little too high. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm not going to show it, but I might make an extension here and move things up. And let me look down underneath the, let's see how much room I got. And let's get this. Okay. All right. Let's see how much cable I got up there to mess with. I got a ton of cable to mess with. You know what? I think I'm going to just bolt on another piece of wood, and so I can just move that whole assembly over. What do you think of that? I think that's going to be necessary. Let's see if I can find myself a little 2x4 about 3 inches long and glue that sucker on there. That's just, that cable's just a little bit too radical off to the side. But it'd be a lot smoother. Okay, I can still cock it at an angle a little bit. And if I have to hammer that thing back again, let's take that pedal out. But that's not really the purpose of today's video. It's going to be, we're going to take this vehicle up, and I'm going to show you some stuff, okay? I'll show you the sway bar and stuff like that. I just noticed something after all this time. There's a right and left on these things. On these ramps. See how that's cut right there? See, I got them on the wrong side. So let me change those over. I can reach under there because I killed all the spiders the other day. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, I always wondered why it was like that. I just didn't pay attention. Don't remember it being in the directions, but I guess they just figured I ought to be smart enough, huh? Well, that's better. Okay, makes more sense. Green subscribe button. Well, you gotta have it plugged in. I do that all the time. I get all nervous about these thunderstorms. One more time, we'll try it. Take two. I gotta get my breath back. Wow. Okay, green subscribe button. There you go. Let's take her on up. And all I'm gonna do is just sort of walk you around underneath here, and that's gonna be all I'm gonna do because I had some questions about this rear sway bar, so I wanted to show it. And I got to take the the O2 sensor out for the air fuel gauge because it's dead. D-E-E-D, dead. Okay, that's better. I'm happy about that. Had this thing for years, just now noticed that. Okay. Now, there's the Bell stainless steel exhaust system. I'm going to go one more. Alright, the other point is these radius arms. You can see where I bucked that up a whole bunch right there. And there's a bushing in here. And here's your radius arm going back to here. If you just have that bolted to the original piece of metal, I've seen those busted like you won't believe. So anyway, I knocked out a bunch of spider eggs. Alright. Okay. I think that probably took care of it. Alright, so those are your radius arms. And now remember too, bushings on both ends, and you can put shims back behind here and get your alignment right. So the shims go between the body. This is the aftermarket floorboard, which is also known as a hunk of steel. So I'm at the back of the car. Okay, so there's that. Okay, that's the radius arms. And just make sure those are as strong as you can get them. Low car's got to go up higher. Okay, so there's the stainless steel exhaust. Is that working? Okay. And I still have that hub tool. But see, this is the way that sway bar bolts in. You got to bolt it to the frame. And then, like I said, I pulled it down with some straps and got it to lay down enough to where I could get this on here. That bushing looks okay. And remember, this is rear independent suspension, such as it is. So that's the way that looks. You get that special long bolt. Shocks aren't leaking. And that's the way the sway bar goes in. Comes in mighty handy holding up the exhaust system. So here's an old fuel pump I had that I don't use anymore. But it's okay. It don't matter. Alright, and then let's look at the drive shaft. Yeah. See, because see, I got this, there's the emergency brake stuff. This is that T5 gearbox up in there, Ford gearbox, 5-speed. And kind of a bear to get in there. But you can see, you see right here, that rubber cap, that's where the speedometer cable came out. And it was horrible getting that up there. That's why I have that satellite driven one now. So I just put in a big glob of RTV and just globbed it on the speedometer drive. It used to leak like crazy here, but doesn't leak anymore. And so here's the stainless steel, goes single, and then you got your header right there. Everything looks good down here. I saw a thing on magnets today, said it worked. So cool. So here's the front sway bar, and that's factory. Everything up here looks good. It's not leaking oil. And all right, everything's fine. And there's the original color, that kind of purple color right there. That was kind of weird. I don't know how many of those there were. I don't think there were many. And there's my rebuilt front suspension and my racing rack right there with the solid little deals on them instead of the rubber. And I like I said, I had to change these gators, these bellows here, within a year or two of putting this rack on. That was pretty cheap. So the trunnions look good. All this is rebuilt. Look at that. That's already busted up there. That piece of rubber around the upper ball joint. But anyway, it looks good down here. Put my hands on it here in a minute, pull on things, but it looks fine. Okay, so I think that's it. So I don't remember having any trouble with the drive shaft bolting on. I might want to go ahead and put some, let me get my torch and get the eggs out of there. And so that's about it under here. So mainly people were asking, or one person whacked my head about this thing. So I'm going to consider that done, and I'm going to consider this a done video. That's just a little walk around underneath here. Take out that oxygen sensor and let her back down. All right, thanks a lot. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and thanks for spending time with me. And I'll try not to be so breathless, but it's got to be 95 degrees and 99% humidity. And every time I move, I just can't get my breath back. It's so hot out here. All right. Bye-bye. Bonus footage. I got this tool here. This 7H22 47749-0 sensor puller tool. Brothers, let me tell you. Right there's the cats. It's the first time I've used it. I mean, that is really the cat's meow there. Say. I'm really impressed by that. Saved me a lot of time. Okay, let's get this thing, let's pull this wire through. So I'm going to get rid of all this mess. Okay, that's it for sure this time. Got to go back up the house, get myself a cool drink.